Hey guys, today we're going to go gold prospecting. We're going to go on an outing trip, but I'm also going to do some teaching about tuning your equipment, so hold on. Hey guys, it's Doc. You're either going to watch this video and you're going to learn something, or you're just going to skim through it or bypass it, and you're going to miss a valuable opportunity to learn something about gold mining and gold prospecting and tuning your equipment. So let me tell you some of the things we're going to learn in this video. Number one, we're going to learn about high volume efficiency. Not just high volume and not just efficiency, but high volume efficiency. We're also going to learn about tuning your Highbanker. We're also going to learn about testing, not just testing our equipment, but also testing the dirt, testing the tailings, overall testing, and doing a little bit of controlled testing as well. We're also gonna, and I constantly harp on this, and I've been harping on it more and more and more, that if you want to be a good prospector or a good miner, you really need to understand proportional force and all of those aspects that tie into proportional force. Now I have a whole video that's proportional force. Unfortunately, you need to watch it at a time when there's just reruns on, because it's about 45 minutes long. It's an educational video. It's kind of like going to class. But if you watch that video, and probably watch it 2 times, you'll start to learn things that even prospectors and miners with 10, 20, 30 years experience still don't comprehend. Trust me. I talk to miners, commercial operations we work with in 35 different countries. They have tons of experience, years of experience. They don't understand a lot of this stuff. I talk to prospectors that have got 10, 20, 30 years of experience. They don't get this. They don't understand it. So you can, even though if you're a newer prospector or a new miner, you can learn a lot of this stuff and gain a lot of valuable information, and you can learn how to run a high rate of speed and efficiently. We're also going to talk a little bit about mining math. That's a big thing that I've also stressed on, and it comes down to high volume efficiency as well. So anyways, I was kind of rubbing my head a little bit when the event started, because not everyone was there from GPAA, and it was sort of a slow start for it, but there was a message that was delivered to a lot of the prospectors out there. And a lot of these prospectors are new and don't have a bunch of experience. But one of the messages was that, hey, we think we're losing gold. At one of the last digs we did, we thought we were losing gold. And so the message they passed on to people was that they wanted them to slow down. So they wanted them to slow down and really run slow, run the dirt slow, because they thought people were running too fast. And they thought that possibly their units were losing gold. So I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, man, that just goes against everything that we do as a company. What we focus on is high volume efficiency. In other words, commercial ops, a lot of commercial ops, if they're 85% or above, they're happy. Now I'm not talking about 100 and 200 mesh gold. Commercial ops really aren't focused too much on that in most areas. A lot of commercial ops run 85 to 90% efficiency, somewhere in there. Prospectors, typically, if a prospector can get 95% and above, they're usually happy. We, in particular, were one of the only companies out there, like on one of our units, like the Raptor Flare. It's guaranteed to have a 98% efficiency rate. Let me say that again. It's guaranteed to have a 98% efficiency rate. If it doesn't run at 98% efficiency down to 100 mesh gold, you send it back and you get a full refund, including the shipping in the first 30 days. That's confidence, just because of the controlled testing we've done. I hear it all the time. Well, I think I'm losing gold. Well, you gotta know. Stop thinking, stop guessing. Do some controlled testing on your units. I stress this over and over again. All right, so let's talk a little about mining math. So let's say we have a big pile of dirt. Let's say we have a yard of dirt, and inside that yard of dirt, there's $40 worth of gold. So if we've got $40 worth of gold, here's the important factor of this. If you have 2 people that go out and you have one big pile of dirt and there's $40 worth of gold in it, you can sit there and you can take your time with it and put in a bucket, put in a shovel and wait and wash it, put in another shovel and wash it. It'll probably take you the entire day to run that pile of dirt. So if it takes 8 hours to run that pile of dirt, you've captured and you're getting 100%, you've got $40 worth of gold. As an example, if I can take that same pile of dirt and I can run that same pile of dirt in 1 hour, so if I can run that full yard of dirt unclassified, run it at 98%, what's the math there? The math there is you're still pretty close to $40, but you've done it in 1 hour. That's mining math. That's high volume efficiency. When it comes to gold mining, you want to run as much material as possible at an efficient rate. Let me say that again. You want to run as much material as possible at an efficient rate. That is mining math. So that's why you understand what your feed rate can be. I can feed this fast and still have a 98% capture rate. So you can just feed the living heck out of it. So let me tell you what we did. We actually went out and instead of guessing or thinking if we were losing gold, we actually went out, and there were a total of 6 units, including our Raptor flare with extension. We went out there and we started capturing tailings inside of a tub. We started capturing the tailings. We would take and run it for 20 minutes, go over and run it through the multi-sluice and look for losses. Let's find out for sure. Are we losing gold or are we not losing gold? So that's one of the things we did in this video. We were out there testing units. The next thing we did, I know my unit, if I've got a Raptor flare with an extension on it and I'm running dirt that's from Georgia where you don't have a whole bunch of, it's not all 100 and 200 mesh gold. I'm not on a beach running beach sands or something. I know most of the gold is going to be pretty chunky. It's probably going to be 30 mesh and above, the majority of the gold, or 50 mesh and above with pickers and so on and so forth. I want to run as much dirt as I possibly can through that Raptor flare. So after the morning meeting, I took my crew, which is about 4 or 5 guys on the Raptor, and I said, look, I want you to ignore what was said at the initial meeting out here. I want you to bucket feed, and I want you to put through a bucket, shake a bucket in about 20 seconds, 15, 20 seconds. Wash, make sure the rocks are clean, lift the clay claw, let the rocks go out, get another bucket in there. I want you to run, run, run. Now, this morning shift was a 3-hour shift. All the other Highbankers that were out there basically had 2 people on them, and what they were doing is they were either taking a shovel and they would take a scoop and put a scoop in and wash it and run it like that. And so they were running real slow. They were probably running 5 times slower than we were, at least 5 times slower than we were. Now remember, we tested the Raptor tailings and found 0 losses. 0, not even 200 mesh gold, not 100 mesh gold. 0 losses at this feed rate. At the end of this, we took all the concentrates. So we took all the other units, and they had a dredge running out there. We took all those concentrates. At the end of 3 hours, we put them all together. We took the last 2 mats in the Raptor and put those in that group concentrate. And all I did was I pulled the first 36 inches of the Raptor matting, because there's a 36, a 36, and a 36. I pulled the first 36 inches of the Raptor, put it in a pan, and actually cleaned and panned out just that part of the Raptor. And what was interesting about that is we had more gold in the first 36 inches of that Raptor than all the other concentrates from all the other equipment running, period. It was an amazing sight to see, and it goes to prove that if you're running high volume efficiency, you can get a lot more gold. So if I can move that pile in 1 hour, and it takes that guy to move that pile 8 hours, and we're still pretty close to the same results, whether it's 98% or whether it's 99%, you're gonna get a lot more gold with high volume efficiency. And that's the whole principle of our units, whether it's a mini, whether it's a Raptor flare, whether it's a super hog, or whether it's just our mats, or even a multi-sluice. Multi-sluice is just an easy way to do it. So anyways, I'm going to take you out there. I'm going to show you some of that footage, but I wanted to sort of let you know what was going on this trip, what was going on the day, and what we were sort of doing with all this comparison stuff. We'll see in just a minute. So what are we doing today? Out here at Loud Mine, I'm going to test some of this dirt from the pile over there. Grabbed a 5-gallon bucket. 5-gallon bucket, unclassified, and I'm going to take it down to the stream sluice, because it'll be quick. I want to test a 5-gallon bucket. Alright, so I got a 5-gallon bucket, fully unclassified, and let's see how long it takes me to test this dirt we're going to be running tomorrow. All I'm doing is I'm watching my slings for big rocks. If I see a big rock, I'll go ahead and push it out. But there's lots of big rocks in here and I'm not classifying it. Do is shut my water off. All I have to do is shut my water off. Show you how I do that. Just lift up my front, shut the water off, boom, locked into place. Put them down. Now my water is completely shut off. I want to rip out my mat here, I can, but I'm going to take the whole thing over and can it. There's a lot of bugs out here today. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull my mat, rinse it in the bucket, put it in the pan, and pan it out. Concrete up my mat, drain all the water out. Get the tension off. Ready for the bucket. Reverse roll. Reverse roll again. That's all it'll ever be. 1 to 2 cups maybe. All I'm going to do is look for a spot with very little current, get my feet in front of it to stop any more current, and pan it out. First bucket of dirt run at the LGMA camp. Lots of black sand. Lots of black sand. And if it's Georgia dirt, you probably won't see any gold. Or maybe one piece. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No one's gonna believe that crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. Wow. Dude, look at that. Look at that. No one's going to believe me if I tell them. Everyone's going to say that thing's planted in there. That is too funny. 1 bucket of dirt. The first bucket of dirt run out here. Look at that piece of gold. Holy cow. That's funny. That is way too funny. Alright, so Croc and I went up to the pile. I said, I'm going to grab a pile. I'm going to grab 1 bucket of dirt. And took shovels all around the pile. Ran the stream sluice. Come around this side of me.
Excellent.
Look at that.
No kidding.
Wow.
That's a nice piece.
First bucket run here from that dirt.
That's excellent.
The dirt we're going to be running.
I said, Croc, I said, I'm going to take one. I went all around the pile and took scoops of it.
Oh, them little pieces are what
Yeah.
I usually end up with.
Well, I'm glad to see those, because if I don't see those in here, I mean, those are few and far between. I'm glad to see them in
Yeah.
1 bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got here yesterday afternoon up at the LDMA Loud Mine outing. Came out here and set up the equipment. I was running a Raptor flare with an extension on it. And the first thing I did, which is I think what most people should do no matter where you are, any good miner, is test the dirt you're going to run. So I did. I grabbed one bucket of the dirt. I went over and set up the stream sluice, which I'll show you in a second. And I'll show you the results, which I was actually kind of happy with. This is interesting dirt. It's really brown looking. I don't know if this dirt, I'll find out for you here in a bit, but I don't know if this dirt actually came from here or if they brought it in from somewhere else. So we'll see, but there's a lot of dirt here. Let me step back. Real brown looking dirt. But I went through here and I grabbed a couple shovelfuls, ran it to the stream sluice, and I was actually happy. Now, one thing I'm noticing about this dirt, you see all this yellow in it? There's a lot of yellow in there. And I'm seeing a lot of yellow. It's very brown soil. You can see, look at that big old river rock. Give you some size here perspective. There's a lot of river rocks in here. I'm seeing a lot of different color variations. So you can see that like orange there, and this is brown. And then over here, look at this side. This side turns a little bit gray. So good color variations. I like that. Somewhere in here there's some gold, but I took my test bucket out of here and actually found a nice piece. In one bucket, found a nice piece. So they've got a few units set up over here. A couple units over there. This is the main dig site. And we're setting up the Raptor flare. And one thing real quick, I'm going to talk about setting up the Raptor flare real quick. You'll notice that a lot of these units, the lay flat hose just goes directly into the unit, and that's something you don't want to do. I brought this dredge hose with me, and that gives us the flexibility. Now look, see how strange that is? I had to sort of loop it away from the unit, but that gives me a straight shot, so I don't have any kinks in the lay flat hose here. And I adapted, I took off the 1.5 inch and put a 2 inch on here. I glued it on this time for them. I actually took my bars and I took fine sandpaper and I sanded these bars, and then I put a little wax on them, car wax on them. Reverse ramp riffle, which everyone always installs wrong, so I marked it up, but here's the up. Water flows this way. Little tube with spare nuts and bolts that I make for mine. So we've got 36 inches. You're going to see this running, and one of the reasons why I want to go over this is you're going to see that this unit, I didn't bring a Super Hog this year. I bought a Raptor flare because a Raptor flare can keep 6-7 people busy. And what they'll be doing is they'll be dumping into here. The rocks will all sit here, held in here with a clay claw. Once the rocks are washed, you just open the clay claw and the rocks will fall out. I won't be able to talk about that because it's going to be loud out here later. So we have sort of aggressive matting and narrow up here. It's going to flare out. Then it's going to flare out, and it's going to go down to mostly razorback and downdraft right here. There's a piece of talon, some bedrock. And then today I brought the extension, and the extension has, make sure these are locked in. My extension this time, I'm going to run motherlode, bedrock. So I changed it up a little bit just to play with it. So let me step back so you can get a better feel. So from here to here is the normal Raptor flare. I add the extension on. If you're running in an area that has tons of superfine gold, like British Columbia, Canada, different places that's just like all superfines, the extension is really good to have. Or if you're running a lot of material. It's early. There's not a motor running here. There might be one running. No, I think that's actually a golf cart. But pretty good turnout. I'll bring you guys back up here and we'll show them digging and get the drone up in the air and we'll see what happens. All right. So we're up and running. 8:30, 9 o'clock. There we go. And here comes the sun. Here's the Raptor. Look at those sun rays going. Raptor flare with extension. And then we've got a tub down here at the end. I've got a multi-sluice down here. We're going to start testing some tailings from different units on here. Again, that's Motherlode and Bedrock down here. Razorback, Downdraft, Bedrock right there.
That's plenty cool. That's getting a little too heavy for me. Yeah, my shoulders are
All right, unclassified material, washer mat, 1100 GPH, instead of test panning, let's try it. If any big rocks get stuck in here, I just pull them out. And I want you to see that all the rocks are, that the bunch of big rocks are going through. Proportional force. Watch the video, proportional force. You're going to hear it, put it in there like a hole. All right, so I ran 3 or 4 big panfuls of dirt. This is why I'm testing this new thing of test panning with the washer mat. And you can see I've got about a teaspoon left. I'm not even gonna pan it out, I'm just gonna tap it. There's not enough to even pan it at the end. Yep, there's gold. And there's gold in there. Couple small pieces. Let me get my jet dry. Hey guys, so what we're doing right now is we're taking tailings from different units and we're actually running these tailings through the multi-sluice in the stripper mode. We ran the Raptor flare with extension for 25 minutes, captured the tailings in the tub, not one speck of gold. Good news. So I got another unit over here that's running. Found me a sucker to run this bucket. All right, so one of the lessons we're working on today is we're working on tuning Highbankers and efficiency and testing your tailings. It's the same thing I talk to commercial operations about. Test your tailings, test the dirt before you put it into your plant, test your tailings as they're coming out. So we've got all these units running and no one knows what the efficiency is. Are they actually capturing all the gold? So what we're doing is we're taking buckets and we're creating fluid beds down at the bottom. And then we're letting that run for 25 minutes. And then we're taking all those, we're running it through the multi-sluice. So we're just got the washer mat in, we're just stripping it through and looking to see what kind of, if we have any losses. Now the important point is this. The other factor is, well, how do I know that the multi-sluice is catching the gold? Because the first thing I did was I took 3 panfuls of dirt, unclassified, ran it through the multi-sluice, and I saw about 10 colors in there, and they were all 50 to 100 mesh color. So I know the multi-sluice is catching the gold that's in the dirt. Got it? So now we can go ahead and we can test these tailings. We don't have to shut down the units. We don't have to keep cleaning them out. Hey, as long as we know that the majority of the gold, 95% and above, is being caught, then what we're doing is we're coming over here with tests. As you can see, here comes another one. And that one I may just hand pan myself. So this is the first time that I've actually used a multi-sluice like this to actually test tailings unclassified with a washer mat and 1100 GPH. And you can see what we're doing here. So watch all the rocks. You can see all the large rocks come down through here. And if any of them get stuck, then we just kick them out. Now, proportional force. If you haven't watched a proportional force video, go watch that boring video. And you'll learn why we don't have to classify here. But dirt goes in, tones down. That's pretty cool looking there.
I like seeing them. They look good.
And all you do is just kick them out. Again, we're not concerned about, all we're doing is we're testing tailings. We just want to do this fast. We're taking a whole tub, we're running anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes maybe, and that's about it. Alright, so we found our first machine that actually is having some losses. Wasn't much. I saw 2 or 3 pieces of gold in the tailings, but we haven't been running all that long, and I'm going to show you what's going on. Well, let me show you what's wrong with this unit. Number one, look at the size of the classifier bars. You've got large rocks coming down, and then look where the rocks end up. The rocks are ending up in the riffles. So all these riffles, hold up one second. All these riffles are filled up with rocks. That's why in our world, riffles suck. I hate riffles. This is what you get with riffles because of proportional force. You saw me running an 1100 GPH bilge pump, sending these things down a sluice just a minute ago. Remember? That's right. Why is that? Proportional force. If you haven't watched a proportional force video, you're stupid. Go watch proportional force. This is what happens. So all my riffles here are being filled with rocks. So what we need to do is we're going to get my stream sluice, and we're going to put my stream sluice on the end of this thing. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
Because this is the only one, this is the only unit we found that's actually losing some gold, and it's because of these stupid riffles. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take the riffles out, we're going to put my stream sluice on the end. So this was the only unit we found that had losses on it because of those stupid riffles. We put a stream sluice on the end. Let me go over and show you real quick. The other thing I want you to see is look at the bath they're getting right here. That's what happens when you have spray bars. See what happens? When you go over to our unit, when you go to the destruction chamber, you won't have that at all. Spray bars suck. So here's how we're fixing this. What we have is we have rocks that are stuck in these riffles. Now what I want you to watch what happens. Oh, here's one here. Watch what happens when I push these rocks out. They go right over the matting. Even the flat ones. So all those rocks that are getting stuck up here, they're going to go over the matting and get through the matting. So that's the difference. That's the biggest difference. Flow interruption is something that we measure based on water depth and energy. If I have to really increase that flow interruption because my rocks are larger, like a dredge, then now you're going to risk losing fine gold, right? So that's where the matting comes into play. Very, very low flow interruption. And rocks to just keep going, that gold settles and goes into the mat. Make sense?
Oh yeah.
Again, you cleaned out the other Highbanker. Why?
Because the riffles was filled with rocks.
Right.
Small rocks at the time.
And the only way to move those small rocks is to increase your pitch and flow, get it really, really fast, and then what do you risk doing?
Losing gold.
Losing fine gold. Proportional force. I'm stressing this whole video. That's why our mats come into play. Some of those mats, depending on which one you use, very, very low obstruction or no obstruction, the rocks roll right out of it. You saw me running a stream sluice yesterday, no classification in the stream sluice, and all the rocks go right over it, and that's kind of the whole principle here. Got it? Yes. All right, let's go check. So, here's something I was just showing. These guys are not getting soaking wet. See that Highbanker over there? Those people are soaking wet. It gives them a bath. That's because they're using spray bars. The destruction chamber, the only time you're gonna get wet is when you have a big rock or a flat rock. Throw your water up. Right. But look at that, there's almost no water that's gonna, now that's it, and that's really strong flow. The other thing is all the rocks, like we showed over, we put the stream sluice, they were having losses, so we put the stream sluice on the end of it. That's the only Highbanker I saw with losses. I saw gold in the tailings. So we put the stream sluice on the end of it. Now you guys have been running what, 2 hours now? 8, maybe.
Yeah.
Started
Before 9.
And the only thing you'll have to do is once in a while come to this section and maybe do that.
Pick the big ones, yeah. The flat
That's
ones
it.
that get stuck in there, yep.
So we finally have a rock in here. Proportional force. That's the rock that got stuck. Now if I want you to hear, all right, stop for a minute. Now here's what I want you to see. I'm coming back to this again because I'm preaching this over and over and over. And I want you to watch. Those are all in the riffle. They're not moving. Riffle. All in the riffle. That's why we're starting to see some losses on this one. We should be good then. All right, so let me show you a little trick with the Raptor flare. So all I did, and I put this up somewhere, I forget, I think I put it up on YouTube, but I drill a hole where these two overlap. So when I open my header box, I can stick a bolt in here, and what that does is that locks this box up, so now I can get in here. And here's what I want you to see, sorry. So the reverse ramp riffle, which is here, the reverse ramp riffle sits, just so you know, the reverse ramp riffle sits right about here, okay? So the bottom of that riffle is right there, and it creates a pool in here, a deadening pool. And then if you look, there's a piece of gold there, there's a piece of gold there, there's a piece of gold there, piece of gold there. I'm gonna zoom in. Gold there, gold there. There's gold inside there.
I see a little piece right there.
Yep, there's some over there. Look at that one there.
Yep, nice ones.
So this is where we'll find, and below this, what's interesting is below this, when you look below this, you're gonna see a bunch of fine material, okay? See all that fine stuff? And we'll have a shitload. There's no other way to say it. There's a shitload of fine gold that's sitting right up under there. Because this fluid bed back here is staying really active and bare, and it's able to just go down and work down and get caught. It's just a fabulous little, that reverse ramp riffle system. So most of our gold we're gonna find is up in there. sometimes, see, that might even have a little gold in it. And then sometimes we'll find weird stuff right in here because we leave a tall riffle here, or this is actually a river hog. So we'll find weird stuff right in here. Sometimes we'll see a lot of gold in here. Now sometimes when we come down, oh great, fire ants, that's what we need. Now sometimes we'll actually come down here and we might see like a flat flake or something. We might see something down here, but. All right, so we took the first mat out of the Raptor and the moss, put it into a pan. I speed panned it, and there we go, baby. That's your money shot right there. That is your money shot. Ooh, doggy. That's sweet. Rob's over here running concentrates from the morning run. So we finished cleaning up the morning shift. Now this is the first 36 inches of the Raptor. And then that's all the other machines. And that's all the other machines. Plus, all these nuggets, except for one, came out of the Raptor. So that's all Raptor, except for one nugget. And that's all the other machines. I didn't, and so we didn't clean out the last two mats of the Raptor. That's pretty cool. Hey guys, so what are we taking away from this video? What have I learned, or what are we starting to learn? Well, number one, you should understand that you have to watch the video proportional force. Let me give you an example. Would I take a cat excavator 330, a big old excavator, and feed my mini Highbanker? Absolutely not, because that feed rate doesn't match up with my equipment. Would I run black beach sands every 20 seconds, a whole bucket through my Raptor Flare Highbanker? No, because that's a completely different type of material. Would I use big 1-inch riffles to run real fine material? Absolutely not, because of proportional force issues. What I want you to take away from this video is that you need to learn proportional force and the issues that are going to impact your sluice capture rate and feed rates. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to test. I want you to test your unit. Once you build the confidence in your equipment, and once you understand, get to your comfort point, whether that's 95% or 98% at a high feed rate, once you get your equipment tuned in, you can feed the living devil out of it, and that's the key. High efficiency capture rates. High volume at a high efficiency equals more gold. It's not just more dirt, it's more dirt at a high efficient capture rate. Anyways guys, I hope you watched the proportional force video. Hope you had fun on this trip and hope you learned something. Doc, go log.